So, we're into the solar testing now. At full throttle, I'm using about twice as much power as I'm getting from the solar. But we knew this wasn't going to be very efficient. It does seem pretty tough though. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Carl and thanks for checking out my video to my electric bike project that I'm naming Turtle. I live about 15 miles from the nearest town, where the post office, gas station, and civilized people live. In April, I sold my truck, leaving a broken down motorcycle and a couple of bicycles. What you're about to see is my attempt at building an off-grid DIY survival quadricycle, a pedal-powered microcar with electric solar assist. I did a little research, but my way is most likely not the best way to do this. Once a week, I ride a bicycle into town to check mail and packages. I like bike riding, so I'm kind of looking forward to trying this out. That's the plan anyway. Stay tuned and be sure to subscribe if you're interested. Holy crap. Hello and welcome to the new DIY Delta Trike project that I'm calling Recon. This is a work in progress. My goal is to make a Delta style recumbent trike. That means there's one wheel in the front and two wheels in the back. Recumbent just means that you're leaning back instead of sitting upright. I'm using the clothesline to hang some pipes on to simulate where the solar panels would be, just the height of the panels. I'm not sure on the arrangement. I had been thinking about putting two panels side by side, which is about 4 feet by 4 feet. If I put them lengthwise though, one in front of the other, they would get less wind drag. So I'm gonna just try that. I haven't measured that yet. I just figured, okay, it's higher than the seat, so let's just see how it fits. If I can get in without hitting that kind of thing. Okay, I'm already hitting it there. Also, if I put them two panels forward and back, I don't have to lean very far before I'm outside of it. So if it's 2 feet, so it's a foot out. Oh yeah, we can come way in. I realize that pipe's pretty bent, so we'll put it sideways so the bend doesn't affect us as much. Yeah, so I can get in pretty far before I even have, so I could be way out here, put my leg in. Oh yeah, that totally works. Okay. And I think I'd still get some shade, depending where the sun is. Going to town morning, the sun is behind me. Okay. That should be fine. Okay, you know what? I'm happy with that. I'm not going to get it any better than that. So I was hoping to stop before the camera, but that's close. I mean, if I got to, I'll just put my feet down and stop in addition to braking. Let's try that actually. Let's do the same, try to get to the same speed and then put my feet down also in case we need it. Okay. Yeah, so I can basically cut my braking in half or better by putting my feet down. So, I mean, that's if I have to stop, oh my God, right now. If not, I'll let it roll a little bit. So, yeah, that's good enough. Okay, for the moment, I think it's functional. The bottom half is nice and steel and bolted together, and then I had the PVC pipes on from before, and I figure if I gives it a little bit of spacing between the plastic panel and the steel pipes, and then I put some pipe installations on some of the spots, and then it's all, the top half is just zip tied on there. This all was like this on the trip last year. So this is the first panel. This panel has 4,000 miles on it. This one I picked up in California, so it's got about 2,000 miles on it. While I was redoing some stuff, I found a broken wire, so at some point, I think this had been working on one panel for a while, but I'm not sure how long. Also, these were the flex panels that I used to have mounted to this post out here. So I just thought of that. Man, am I ever glad that panel wasn't there when the wind came through and blew the whole OSB off. That's a good thing. It would have broken them anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up the wiring tomorrow. My brains are just cooked. A lot of this is just cobbled together and using parts that existed already. You know, so I just minimally fix things, basically. Okay, so let me show you the cool part. From getting back here, it's really easy to get in. I can put my hand on the handlebars or something, and just like that, it's just that easy. I don't have to do any crazy duck walking or anything. Okay, this piece was on the trip, so this all has 4,000 miles of experience, and it works. This wire is where the solar panels were hooked into. I made a Y adapter so both panels are in parallel. So that gives me the same voltage, twice as many amps. That seems to work fine. This is a step-up MPPT controller, if you can read that. This is the voltage of the panels, 17.9. This is the amps of the panels. Could be 3 amps, 53 volts, and 1 amp. That's already up to the limit. Okay. Now I haven't ridden this one very far yet, so anyway, so this is an up converting charge controller. Usually it goes the opposite way. This is not necessarily made exactly for bicycles, but it's totally very well suited for this. I bought it from Grin Cycles up in Canada. I'll put a link to them. This is a pretty cool piece of tech. This doesn't exist like almost anywhere else. It'll take your normal solar panels, like these panels, 18.5 is what the label says, okay? And current, that says 6 amps. I don't know what kind of conditions you'd have to be to get 6 amps, but whatever. Okay, so this takes 20 volts off of the panel and converts it up to 53 or whatever. I can sit there, I can tune it, so I can go plus or minus to set my battery voltage, and then it'll get up to that and stop. So it's already throttling back on the charging, okay? This piece is a down converter that takes the 53 volts from the battery and outputs 12 volts. This box is just a breakout box that I put together so I can hook up different things. So for instance, at the moment I've got cigarette lighters up here. All of this is in the wrong spot, but I figured it's a good start for now. And I just got this all zip tied up to this piece up here. But I like this because that's in a really good spot. It's just facing the wrong way, so I'll probably rotate it. But for now I can see it, so that's good enough. So I can see my battery voltage, I can see how many amps are coming in. So that's what we need. Yeah, and I'm in the shade. Let's see, there's my hand. Okay, so at the moment I'm half in the shade. Ideally, the next set, these are 100 watt panels. This one's labeled as 110, but this is the same basic panel that's labeled at 100. Okay, if I got the 170 watt panel, it's wider, so I'd get a little more shade, but then it also has more wind resistance. Also, the 170 is more than twice as expensive as 100, so that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So for what I'm doing, this is going to be completely fine. All right, so I'm going to just take it for a little zip up and down the driveway. It's really hot, and we've got a heat advisory all week this week, so yeah. Not going to do a lot of riding. I just want to have a little bit of fun here, so. All right, 53 volts. Well, the bad news is I'm walking home. The good news is the battery's fully charged. I broke the plywood on the motor mount. I'd been noticing on the footage from the GoPro when it was here, I could see that if I torqued too hard, that plywood down there was flexing. Well, it's broken now. And it broke about a mile from home. More or less. Yeah. So when it broke, now the motor is crooked and the chain won't stay on. I tried to be really gentle and it still wouldn't stay on. Also, I found a political sign. I'm going to do my duty and recycle that for the coroplast. That might make a good little roof or something. But this makes a wonderful roof. Man, I tell you what, until that broke, I was having the best day ever. I made the stupid mistake of going downhill. I'm zipping along. I've got it set up now that I can pedal at full throttle. And I was just making time. It was great. And get to about where I want to turn around, and I could feel the chain slip. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. That usually doesn't happen. So I put the chain back on, tried to take off, popped right off again. So I start looking. Oh, no. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good time to pick up my toys. I'm about cooked. So I put the plywood there as a quick hack and then drilled holes in the plywood because that was faster. And that worked for, a couple, 3 weeks. So, that solved that problem. Now I was able to test everything else before I came back and fixed it. Now I can fix it. Not a big deal. A little bit annoyed, but at least I wasn't, 12 miles from home. Just 1 mile. That's considerably better. It's kind of heavy. Well, I think I'm back to where I was 3 or 4 days ago when I thought everything was done and then it broke. Anyway, I really had wanted to put an adjustable chain tensioner in here. And honestly, this is not the time of year for doing high precision work outside. It's just hot. So what I came back to was basically the same setup I had before, but I can add or subtract washers or nuts in between here to fine tune it. And it does seem like it, one washer makes a difference. So I've got some slack, but not too much. I think I'm going to test ride that and see how it does. All right, camera's rolling. I'm on the county road. I am at basically 53 volts already. I got 2.6, 2.7 amps coming in off of the solar. I was at 53 volts when I started at the driveway, or at the house. And I was mostly just using throttle coming down Wells Fargo, which is my access road. And sitting still here for a second to turn the GoPros on because I just realized I'd forgotten. The battery's back to 53. That's what I set it to, and I'm down to 1.6 amps of charge because it's throttling already. Yeah, okay. Last time I did this, I went that way, which is downhill, and I was about as far as I wanted to go. I turned around and then I broke the motor mount. So I don't think I want to do that yet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way to the edge of my property and then just go back and forth on the road here so that no matter what, I'm not that far from home. I'm geared high enough that I really can't start pedaling, but when I'm at max throttle, it's roughly 12 miles an hour. I didn't bring the GPS this time, but basically 12 miles an hour is how fast it's geared for right now. And I think I can pedal basically that fast. So I'm just going to get a couple miles on it and see how it goes. So we start off really gentle so I don't smack something up here again. Creep it on. There we go. That's wide open. That's gonna be rough. I'm gonna put some more padding on that, I think. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got some useful ideas there. I've not been talking about this very much lately, but my main source of income has been these YouTube videos. The actual money I make from the ads is quite small. What actually keeps me going is a few people that are helping me out over on Patreon or YouTube members. Just a few bucks every month would sure make a huge difference. So if you get anything out of my content, there's a link down below, or I'll put it up on screen. You can help me out through Patreon, which is a monthly subscription. You can also do YouTube members, or you can just throw me a buck on PayPal once in a while. It all helps. Thank you very much. Bye for now.